Hello and welcome to video 3 of our database video series. So for video 3 we're going to look at creating a form for databases. Now you may have filled out forms online before where you're buying things from companies and you would fill out a form and you'd complete it and you'd submit your details. You wouldn't go into the database, go to the bottom record of the table and insert your details. You would always fill out a form. And that's the same, and that's to provide security so that you can add customers' details to your database without them seeing other customers' details. So, you will have seen that obviously with better branding and a nice user interface for the customer. We're going to create one in Access. So we would go to our Create tab up at the top here, and then we would use the Form Wizard. Now you can do it from scratch if you desperately want to, but the Form Wizard puts things all in a nice layout, so you would always use that in the exam situation. For this particular form, this is going to be for customer bookings, so we want to have all these details. So tasks may tell you that there are certain fields that they don't want in the form, but for this particular task we're going to have to put them all on. Generally, the task will also tell you which of the layouts you would like to use. In this instance, I'm going to use Justify just because it's one of my preferred layouts. And I'm going to call the form Customer Booking Form. I like to have a look at the form before we edit it. So we'll leave open the form to view. And that lets us see the form before we make any changes to it. So you can see here, we've got the client name, so this is where we would put our client in. So say I'm going to put myself in, Mr. Young. Say I was going to book them for my wedding reception in 2021. Maybe I wanted to have Oasis as my band. And we'll put the date in, 2021. And then the time should be just putting in around about whatever time it would be on the day, so say 7 o'clock in this occasion. Venue, I'm just going to put St Andrews for my venue, and number of hours we'll need them probably 5. Okay, so as you hit enter, you'll see it now shows record 2 of 2, this one's blank. If we go back to record 1 of 1, we can see the record that's been filled out here, and that will have submitted it to our database. So if we can close the form and we go back into bookings, you will see now that all the details have been added to this particular booking. Now if we go back to the customer booking form, there's a couple of things that we might want to edit. So down here you can see everything's actually quite well laid out, but down here you might want to widen the columns so that that all fills out nicely. You might want to centre the headings, and generally that's something that I think I would do in a tabular layout. So a few different ways we can do it. We can either go into our design view, and this can be quite daunting to look at initially, but as you get used to it, you realise that you can just control and click on all the fields that you want to make changes to. And say we wanted to centre all the data, because I think that will look tidier. You would just highlight them all, you'd go to format, and then you would centre it. To widen it, you just select the side of it and you would widen it so that it's the same as the rest, but you need to make sure you get both the heading and the field that the customers would enter so they're at the same level. Now if you go back to see the view, you can see that everything's been centred on the form. Not saying that you would often be asked to do that, but you can do it. You can also do it in layout view. Layout view is great because you can actually see the layout change as you change it. I think it's a lot more user friendly than the design view. However, the design view is essential for making those particular changes like centering it, or perhaps you might even want to just have all your headings with a particular fill-in font. You guys know that I'm a fan of purple, so let's make our headings the header BTN font, maybe increase them up to 14, not 14 because that looks a little bit too big, but up to 12, and I'm going to do that for all the headings. So just holding the control button and clicking on all my headings, making it purple background, white text, header BTN, Not particularly corporate looking, but I quite like the font. And now when you go to design and then view, you can see that they've all changed to purple. Okay. One of the other common tasks that we're asked to do here is to insert a picture. Now you would think you would do that with the insert image button. Generally I would recommend against that. You would click on this drop down and you would use this image insert here. The reason being is we've had some printing issues with that. You drag the space that you want to put it in and then you would go and select a picture if you had one to put in, and then when you hit open it would go into that space there.